welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest and everything cool every single day. I won't do this the whole time. That's going to drive my voice crazy. Welcome to the show, and I want to dedicate this rundown to a brand new member, Zachary Way. You rock. Thank you. Let's get started with your rundown. Nothing says Halloween better than the undead creatures that live beyond the wall. HBO has officially announced that the long-in-development Game of Thrones prequel series will star none other than Naomi Watts. Don't expect her to be playing someone we're familiar with, because they've also confirmed that the new series will take place 1,000 years before the events of the main show. It will chronicle the fall of the Age of Heroes and descent into the Dark Ages, and explore the origins of the White Walkers, the Starks legend, and the mysteries of the East. Behind the camera, the series is being overseen by Jane Goldman, best known as the screenwriter behind films like Kick-Ass and Kingsman, with franchise creator George R.R. Martin overseeing the story. The new series doesn't have an official title or premiere window yet, but don't expect to see it until after Game of Thrones comes to an end. The 8th and final season lands next year. Naomi Watts is a fantastic actor, and I can't wait to see what she does in this thing. And it does sound like they have a lot of different areas for them to explore. It sounds like George R.R. Martin is going to have, his hands all over this thing, so I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I am freaking out for the final season of Game of Thrones. I can't wait to see where they take us with that, and I'd be ready for more. I'm hyped for the prequel series. What about you guys? Do you guys want more Game of Thrones? Can't keep my mustache on. Do you guys want more Game of Thrones or not? Let me know in the comments below. All right, Marvel has had mixed luck on the small screen, but two of their coolest heroes are swooping in to help out. Marvel and Disney are reportedly developing a new series that will focus on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Variety reports that the show is being written by Empire producer Malcolm Spellman, with both Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan expected to reprise their roles from the films. The show, if it gets the green light, is being created for Disney's new streaming service, and there are already rumors that Marvel is developing other shows for the service, including ones focusing on Scarlet Witch and Loki. The streaming platform launches next year. This is pulling out all the stops. Disney is saying, look, we have money to spend. We have people that you love. We have characters that you know. You're going to want to sign up for Disney Play. And I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? I mean, they can't follow these characters to their fullest extent in these multi-charactered movies that they've been doing. You know, they pop on, they get a couple of great lines, but yeah, that chemistry between Mackie and Stan has been phenomenal, and yeah, why not dive into that? I think it makes perfect sense. They're great actors, great characters, and Marvel's got a lot to play with there, and if Disney's going to give them the money to do it, I think they're going to do a great job. I can't wait, man. This is going to get really good. It's going to be more shows than our comics on the racks now for us to watch, but that's okay, as long as they're good. All right, two big online games are going to use microtransactions, but it sounds like they're doing it properly. The open-world Fallout 76 and the first-person shooter Battlefield 5 will both have microtransactions, but both games are using them for cosmetic items only. In Fallout 76, players will be able to buy an in-game currency called atoms, which can also be earned by playing the game, and then use atoms to buy cosmetic enhancements to their weapons and gear. EA and DICE are doing something similar with Battlefield 5, and they're going one step further by already announcing that all the post-launch maps and other Season Pass content will be free for all players. DICE seems anxious to avoid the controversy that plagued their last game, Star Wars Battlefront 2, so hopefully Battlefield 5 will make amends. Both games launch in November. Listen, you know, games like Overwatch have kind of shown that if you make a great game and get people just hyped on the core experience and give them ways to earn a lot of stuff, they will stay with it, and they will also buy some of the stuff to make it their own, you know, buy the customizable elements. And if Fallout 76 and Battlefield 5 are both fantastic games, they're going to create enormous communities, and they're going to find new ways to kind of monetize. It's kind of weird that we have to kind of think about the economics of every game before it launches. It's sometimes a little bit frustrating that becomes such a big primary focus of our conversation around games. But yes, if developers and publishers are working together to try to make it as fair as possible for consumers, that is good news. So hopefully these games are awesome, and hopefully their communities are happy, and hopefully my mustache stays on. All right, it looks like Google's new cloud gaming platform is going to be more than just one platform. The service, which was announced earlier this month and is known as Project Stream, will be available on a multitude of different devices. That's according to Ubisoft, which is partnering with Google. Speaking with investors, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot revealed that Project Steam won't just be streaming to the PC, but also consoles and mobile devices. This means you'll be able to play big AAA games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey on smartphones and tablets. Microsoft is working on something similar with their own streaming platform, Project xCloud, which will also run on the Xbox One, although it's unclear what consoles Google will be able to access with Project Stream. There are rumors that Google is working on their own dedicated streaming console, but no official announcements have been made. Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of ubiquity with these different streaming options out there. I've also heard that the next consoles are going to be a lot closer in technology than we've ever seen before, partially because they're going to contend with all of these streaming options, but also because cross-platform play is going to be a big part of the future as well. People are not going to want to divvy up audiences for their massive online worlds and experiences, so they're going to really work with the console manufacturers to have a lot of parity with the tech that's inside these machines. And it's not like the Xbox One and PS4 are that far apart right now either. But yeah, we're going to be seeing games pop up in screens and in ways that we just thought was impossible 5 years ago. Even yesterday, with Apple's announcement of the new iPad Pro, they were comparing it to the power of the Xbox One S, basically entreating developers to say, come on, come and join us and make awesome AAA type games for our tablet, you know? So it is going to get incredibly competitive, but it's also going to become increasingly, less dependent on what screen you've got to be able to play these awesome games on, which will only bring more people to this industry and to these incredible products and incredible creative works. So I'm okay with it, but it is going to get bumpy and weird, and there's going to be competitors in all kinds of interesting places out there. All right, the director of the new It movies is bringing even bigger monsters to the big screen. It director Andy Muschietti is reportedly set to write and direct a Hollywood adaptation of the Attack on Titan franchise. The series, which sees humanity battle a race of carnivorous giants, began with a manga back in 2009, and since then has been adapted into an anime series, live-action movies, and video games in Japan. The big screen American version has long been in the works, and now that Andy Muschietti is on board, it will likely move forward after he's finished with the second It movie, due out next year. This guy is a great director. He did an amazing job with It. I think this is a fascinating project. It's going to be scary as hell, especially if this guy's on board. Clearly, there's a huge audience for this because they keep making, derivations and adaptations of the Attack on Titan IP, but I think when they sort of globalize it with this huge production, this is going to be unstoppable, no pun intended. All right, it's Halloween, and the Nintendo Switch is getting some terrifying classics, but not until next year. Capcom has announced that they're bringing 3 classic Resident Evil games to the Switch next year. They are Resident Evil 4 and the remastered versions of the first game and 2002's Resident Evil 0. They haven't released any footage yet, so it's impossible to know what kind of new features or graphical enhancements they might have. Also, no word about Resident Evil 7. That game was released on the Switch as a streaming-only title in Japan, but hasn't been announced for a Western release. In related news, developer Don't Nod and publisher Focus Home Interactive have announced that they're bringing the blood-sucking game Vampire to the Switch next year as well. It's expected to land in the third quarter of 2019. Yeah, I mean, the Switch is becoming this great platform to bring all of the classics that we know and love across a whole bunch of different eras, and that includes great indie titles, and that includes AAA games that we haven't played in a while, as well as ports of more modern releases. I'm excited to jump back into all of these games. They're all going to be really cool titles that we're going to be able to pick up and play anywhere, which is something that I think a lot of us that haven't been gaming on, PC laptops and playing a lot of these titles on the run have been wanting to do but haven't been able to do, and the Switch is going to enable us to play a game like Resident Evil 4 anywhere we want to. Come on, who's not excited for that? And Vampire is, I think, a buried treasure in the making. It's a pretty damn solid title as well. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic and safe Halloween. We will see you tomorrow with a brand new EP Live. In the meantime, make sure you check out all the other content that we've got on the channel. If you dig it, hit subscribe, hit that little bell. You can hit the join button. You can also check out our merch on our epn.tv/merch page. And until we see you, have a great time. Play forever.